Hello, thank you so much for joining me, and today we're going to be doing crafts with mudlarking finds. In one of the lives we thrashed about an idea for one of my Frankenstein pieces, if you remember, or if you didn't tune into the live. We thrashed out a few ideas of how we can do a Frankenstein piece. What we did, we started off with this little head here, this little bunny head. Okay, and then then somebody said this was like a ballet skirt fabric. So I thought, ballet, hang on a minute, I have got a headless ballerina somewhere, so I whipped that off the shelf. And so what I've added to it is, so we've got the head, we've got the ballerina, got a doorknob because I thought that would make a great base. This weight, I've got this, oh blimey, ages ago, and I think I got it somewhere like Crosby Beach or somewhere, the seaside. It was just stuck between some rocks. Could have been Southport, I'm not sure. A beach around there anyway. And I thought, yeah, the skirt could maybe go over that. So that could maybe sit in there somehow. And then I thought, well, I can't just put that for the skirt because it's a bit bland, just having that. So I was given a load of craft stuff, wasn't I? And then it was this green like net fabric. I thought, well, the green net could go round it, that could go over it in pieces. You've got that and you've got the head. So yeah, I think, and a bit of ribbon, what I mean, like, and buttons. And then somebody just, who was it that said it? I can't remember. Just looked at a comment and somebody said, will she have a fluffy tail? I never thought of that, but I do have a little half pom-pom here. Gosh, from one of the kids' craft sets. What you do is you take the plastic off from round it and it just opens up as half a pom-pom. So you can use that. So I might use it and stick it on somewhere. Right, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the clay because his ears need mending. His ears are broken, so I'm just going to finish those ears off. And I'm going to sit that in some clay as well in the doorknob. Right, I'm going to use Milliput. I quite often just use Daz, don't I, but just for a change, I'm going to use the Milliput. Don't forget, it doesn't have to look perfect. I'm not professional, I don't pretend to be professional. I just do what I enjoy. And that to me is enough, and it should be for you as well. So even if you don't think, oh gosh, I don't work with clay, I can't do it. I don't work with clay, I can't do it, but I'm doing it because I want to. Right, so let's get an equal part of both pieces of that. And what should we use for that? Yes, tongue depressor, just happen to have, like you do. Right, I'm going to mix, don't know, about a centimetre of each. Oh, looks like it needs a little bit more. You just mix equal parts with the Milliput. Just put the box in the bin. Oh, just leave that there in case I need it. Right, just mix those two together. about things being perfect. They don't have to be perfect. All it has to be is something that you enjoy, okay? Whether other people like it or not, it doesn't matter. If you enjoy making it, just go for it. It's a little bit of messing, mixing it up, but not for too long. Okay, I think that is nicely mixed now, so I am going to mend the ears first. Okay, don't forget clay, it's not my thing, so I am winging it. We just need to make it look like it's got ears. We can paint it afterwards. Okay, we've just extended that. Just put a bit of water on it to smooth it out. Okay, leave that to dry, and then I want to put clay in the bottom of here, in this doorknob here, because I want to sit that thing on top. So we'll fill it with clay, and I think we'll probably gild this wooden doorknob. Okay, see how that sits in. Yep, right, just neaten off that top bit there. Right, okay, so we've mended the ear on this bunny. We've got a little bit of clay left, so I will at a later date do this. So while we've got some clay left, I might as well redo his nose. So get some water. Redo Mickey's nose. Okay, redone his nose. And then I'll redo his ear. Well, this is hard. This is very hard. Like I say, I don't work with clay. And now I know why I don't work with clay, because this is tricky. Don't know how Mick does it. Should have got Mick to do it. Oh dear, Mickey. We just cut that. Cut it, round it. Now let's get a wipe. Oops. Oh. Yes, this is why I don't work with clay, because I'm a bit bobbins at it. But we'll get there in the end, won't we? I'm sure when it's painted, it won't look half as bad. tell you what, we might as well do both the Frankenstein pieces. Okay, we've got Mickey, got his ear done there, and his nose. Oops. I'm going to leave it to dry. Okay. Let's have a look at what else we can do. We've got the duck, haven't we? How are we going to do that? Okay. Right, if we can, I'm going to get the DAS. I'm going to get the big DAS because I'm going to fill this. See, I make it up as I go along, right? And this is what you do. You get all the things in front of you and you work it out as you're going. Don't forget, it doesn't have to look absolutely perfect. It just has to be something that you enjoy doing. Right, I'm going to fill this bird with the clay. I'm going to use the DAS clay because it's cheap. A nice cheap clay. Right, so that side's got a wing still. So I'm just going to try, like, sort of make the lines for a wing on the other side. Right, okay, we've filled that base of that. Now let's see how, oops. Just making that ear just a little bit better. Okay, we're going to stick Mickey on there somehow. Should we wait for that to be dry? No. No, because the clay will stick it. Right, I'm going to fill his head with this clay. This is DAS clay, DAS. This big pack was £4 from the works. So you're getting 2 for the price of 1 with this craft, because I was only going to do the ballerina. It's only because I don't like to waste anything. Didn't like to waste the clay that we've ended up doing 2 crafts. Right, so I've just stuffed the back of his head. That's all I've done. Stuffed the back of his head with the clay. Poor thing. This will all be painted, by the way. Will that sit on there, do you think? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I'm going to smooth it off. My word. Right, I'm going to leave little Mickey chick to dry. Just rest it against something. There we go. That was an extra, so make sure that's upright. I'm going to leave that to dry. And what else are we leaving to dry? Stick that clay back. The rabbit's ears. Okay, so leave those to dry, and then I shall be back to carry on. Okay, so the clay on this has set, and the clay on the bunny rabbit has set. The clay on the mouse duck isn't set yet because it's quite thick. If you remember, I stuffed it in the head and I stuffed it in the base. So yeah, that I'm going to have to leave that till tomorrow, I think. Just give it as long as possible. But yeah, even that's looking okay, isn't it? Not too bad, it's getting there, so I'll just leave that one to one side. So swap me hot brew over for me cold brew over for my hot one. Right, so the bunny is done, so I'm just going to paint. I'm not going to paint the entire head. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paint the clay, the bit of clay that's on it, okay, which is just at the end of the ear. It's just got like a little bit of orange inside the ear. I'm just going to leave the other original. Yeah, and what I'm also going to do on the ballerina, because she's got like a rusty mark on her dress, I'm going to paint her body bit of the dress in a yellow, because it is yellow already. But yeah, I'll try and keep as much original colour as I can on these things. But yeah, just going to paint her yellow body bit because of that rust mark I just can't get off. Okay, so I mixed the orange for the ears. I had this orange colour. Okay, and then I mixed that orange with some of this brown colour, and that made a really sort of burnt orange colour which matches the inside of the rabbit's ears. And then for the outer rabbit ear, I'm going to use this one, which is buff. The colour of that is buff. Okay, because that matches that porcelain quite nicely. And this, I found a yellow. It's not too dissimilar, that we can paint the the dress in. Okay, let's get started. First of all, just going to paint the ears in the buff colour. Don't forget, I'm not a painter, I'm not an artist. I'm just making it up as I go along. But it's just showing you that anyone can do it. This actually is virtually a perfect match. And this head has actually got some raw edges on the bottom that are quite dark, so I'm going to paint that. You won't be able to see them in the end because I would imagine if I attach it with clay, but considering seeing it as it's such a good match, I'm going to paint it. Okay. And when that's got a glaze on it, I think I might lacquer them. When I've done, I think I might lacquer it. Right, okay. That is actually not a bad match. I don't think you can see because of that light, it's a bit bright. But I'll leave that to dry so they can do the orange of the ears when it's dry. So that one's done. The orange is done. The orange is waiting, isn't it? So put that to one side. That's finished. Wash my brush. Okay, what should we do? This actually, I've got some true metal, something that Mick gave me. I'm sure you paint it on and then you can buff it. So what do this in this and see how it goes. So paint it on, leave it to dry, and then I think you can polish it. That's what it's called, true metal. We can give it a go anyway, can't we? This was just a fishing weight, fishing lure that I found. I knew one day it would come in handy. This seems to cover really well actually. Right, okay, painted that silver and we'll see how it shines. I'm not bothered to paint that, it's a virtually, it's a similar sort of colour anyway. It's going underneath the skirt. But yeah, let's leave that to dry. Wash my brush. yeah, I do get into a bad habit of not washing my brushes straight away. Okay, right, so that's that one. Oh, right, and so now leave that to dry, put that there out of the way. We might as well do the little ballerina's little bodice there, where she's got a rusty mark. Might add some white. I might put it in the pot and add some white to it. Just because it is a light yellow, but I think it could do with being a little bit lighter. Oop. Didn't need to do that much. I'm going to put some back in. You know me, I'm a bit stingy. Don't like to waste. Okay. So yeah, we're using that that yellow. And then I'm just going to add some white, which I got from the works actually. Can you see? That's better. It's okay if I make a lot actually, because I remember now I've got little containers to put it in. Right, there we go. Don't know if you can see that. Much lighter yellow. Just going to paint her bodice on the dress. Okay, I think that'll need 2 coats. We'll see what it dries like. Yeah, 2 coats I think, and then we'll have hidden that rusty mark that was on the front of it. Yep, right, so we're going to leave her to dry now. Right, I'm just going to transfer this paint into a little tube, and I shall come back. Okay, the paint on the ears is dry now, so I'm going to do the inner ear, which is orange, or was orange on the original. Nice thin paintbrush, because it's only a tiny bit of painting to do on here. Right, okay. The ears are painted. That's all I need to do on that one. Just leave that to dry. I'm just waiting for the silver to dry on there so I can buff it. I can't do anything to the Mickey Mouse one yet. That needs to wait another day to set. Oh, we could try the skirt. Right, let's wash my brush. Right, so my idea was to put a mesh skirt on, except there it is, a mesh skirt on there before I put these metal bits on. Okay, so we need to gather it. So I've got 2 ideas. I'm going to try, obviously, idea A is to do it with a loom band. So I'm just going to get it so that I can put a loom band on it. Might do it twice. Obviously an old loom band. Don't use old loom bands. That's all, these loom bands are old actually, so it's touch and go whether they ping or not. Probably don't even make new ones anymore. I don't know. Right, so I want to halve it because I want it in a double layer. This may work, it may not, I don't know. I think actually that may work. it's not too wet. I can just put it over to see how it goes. Right, let's just, should we make it shorter? Then I'm going to make it shorter. Right, so take that loom band off, because I'm just going to cut that down and make it a little bit of a shorter skirt. Okay, just going to fold it so I have less cutting to do. So I'm just going to cut off about 1.5 inches, I think, of that. I want to be able to see the base underneath, I think. Don't forget, I'm making this up as I go along. Right, okay. Let's cover that back up again. Roughly find the middle, which is about there. What I did then was I folded it in half and then just pressed it, and it left a bit of a line that I could follow to put my loom band on. Right. So put it in the middle, then turn it in half. So you've got 2 layers for the skirt, and that already, I can tell, looks better, shorter. Okay, bit faffy. Let's see, just pop it on the top there. Right, you know what, I think I want it even shorter. Or do I? Let me just look at it. Yeah, I'm going to do it even shorter. Right, a little bit of faffy. But effective. Faffy but effective. So you end up with a 2-layered ballerina skirt. Oh yes, 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 yes. Definitely better shorter. Okay, got a nice puffy ballerina skirt. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for that to dry, and then I'll bring you back and we'll buff it up and see how it goes. Okay, there's your skirt with the loom band on. And then we'll probably glue that on, I think. Glue that on, and then, in fact, is she dry? Right, I'll give her a second coat. Give that a second coat of the yellow. If you remember, I put some yellow in there. So I'm going to give the bodice a second coat. I can see that that second coat is definitely a lot better. Okay, I'll come back when that's dry and we'll give it a buff and see how shiny it is. Actually, I don't think it's a paint, I think it's a wax. So, because I was thinking that feels like it's not wet, but it's not dry either. So, yeah, I think you just put it on and then you buff it. So we'd have been waiting a very long time for that to dry. So it's a wax. Mick was probably screaming at the screen. It'll never dry. Oops. Right, well there you go. It's not a paint. Ignore everything that I've done before. It's a wax and you polish it. And that looks fab. I don't know if you can see it. Nice and shiny, like metal. Yeah, I really like that. I've also now got very silver fingers. Yes, it plays to read instructions, doesn't it? And I think I actually remember Mick telling me now. Oh well, there you go. It's a wax and it's on a wooden doorknob. And it now looks nice and metal. Right, okay, I think I'm going to silicone glue. Okay, let's go to our tried and tested favourite glue, our silicone glue. And I'm going to put a nice healthy portion on the top of this for the skirt to stick on. Okay, and I'm going to put it on the top as well. Alright. And then I want these metal pieces on, don't I? So, this is going to be the front here. This is the front bit, so yeah, we'll see if we can stick these on. Maybe going down a bit, maybe. Right, okay, yep, happy with that. I'm just going to put a nice big blob of silicone to finish the top bit off to make sure it's stuck, well and truly stuck, and I'm going to finish that off with a button, with a rusty button. One of the rusty buttons that we found. I'm going to put that on top because that will be a good base to fit her onto. So let me just bring this bit closer so you can see what I've done. Got the rusty bits of mesh, that's what we wanted to use. I'm going to stick this button on the top there. Okay, whoop. Right, there we go. Finished off with a button there because I just want a nice flat base to be able to glue her onto there. So let's use the silicone glue again, thinking on my feet, like I have to. Actually, that looks pretty good. And this just came from all of us, didn't it? Whoever had the ideas in the chat, I can't remember who you were. It was a collective little effort. I don't think I'm going to put this on yet. I'm just going to let that dry a little bit. I don't want to add too much weight to wet glue. But so far, so good. I think she is looking amazing. I think we've done a fabulous job. And I say we because it was ideas from you and with the stuff that I've got. And gifts, actually. This was gifted to me. And some of the paint was gifted to me, so yeah, it's a collective effort. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that to dry and we'll be back very, very soon to pop the head on. Just looking at this, I thought I'd, while it's drying, stick some more buttons on this. I just think a few more little metal bits on there would look nice. So with my silicone glue, I'm just going to glue on some of these buttons. Oops, daisy. It's okay. It's wet. Right, the glue's wet, so that's fine. Just stick some buttons on in all different places. Okay, right, I'm definitely leaving that to dry now. I didn't film it, but I just wrapped a little bit of twine around the waist. I just put some silicone glue on there because I was just thinking it was just too different to go from the pot to the skirt. It needed something to join it together. So I put some silicone glue on and then I just wrapped this round a few times just so it's got like a waistband and sort of marries both bits together, the top and the bottom. Right, I'm definitely now going to leave that to dry. Stop messing, stop tinkering, just leave it. Okay, I've actually added just a fefew more pieces of metal around the skirt. I just thought it could do with a few more pieces on it. So I've just glued them onto it. And because I like the way that looks. basically I do that. I tinker about with it. I look at it and I think, oh, it just needs a little bit of something else. So yeah, I've only got, really, apart from tiny little pieces, that's all I've got left of it now. So if anybody finds any sort of mesh, this one's a crinkly one, but if you find a mesh similar to that, flat, save it for me and send it me, please, because that is all I've got left and I really, really like it. So yeah, please, if you're going mudlarking, look out for some mesh, because I really could do with lots more. Okay, right, so I've glued those on. The extra ones are wet, but I want to glue this head on now, the rabbit's head. So I want to, it's hard to show you him. There you go, rabbit's head. There, I'm going to glue him on. Obviously silicone glue, go to glue. Just going to pop it on. Okay, that's glued on really nicely. Okay, let's try and lift her up, and then I'm going to leave her to dry while we concentrate on the other one. So there you go. Ballerina, do you think she needs that thingy tail, cotton tail? What do you think? I've got one of these half, the half pom-poms. You just take the sleeve off it and then open it out and you get a pom-pom, half a pom-pom. Let me just place it on, see what it looks like. Yeah, right, okay. This was some craft kit of Willow's, God, years ago, but I kept all the little pom-poms because I knew it would come in handy. Right, so I'm going to stick this pom-pom on the back here, in the middle, at the back. There you go. Actually, I like that. There's a little detail on the back. A little cotton tail. Okay, that is definitely getting put to one side now to dry. Let's stick her over there, out of the way. Just leave her to dry and we'll see her properly later when we've finished this little chap here. There we go. He's more or less dry, clay wise. The clay out here is dry. It's the internal clay that isn't quite dry, but I'm going to paint it. So I want like a burnt orange for the bottom because I want to keep the colours the same. I'm going to paint over the whole thing apart from maybe the white. I won't paint over the white of the face, but I'll do the black and the yellow of the chick, the green of the back of the chick, and the burnt orange at the bottom. I'm going to try and keep as close to those colours as I can. Okay, so I need to mix another burnt orange really. As I gracefully bend over for that. Okay. We'll do the burnt orange one first, I think. So last time we used bright orange, remember, just a bright orange. Okay, and then brown. Okay, just to make the orange less, because that one's a very, very thingy orange, very bright orange. So adding that brown to it just takes that sharpness off it, and it gives us a very similar colour as to what's on it originally. There you go, burnt orange done. I won't bother putting that in a tub, there's hardly anything left. Okay, and then we want some black. I'm going to put that on. You know what, I'm just going to put it on here and then I can wipe it off. Where the original paint is, or was, I should say. A bit faded now. It's worth investing in thin brushes, some good quality thin brushes. I've done a few crafts now where I've needed these thin brushes, and to be fair, I wouldn't have been able to do those crafts without the brush. Right, so that's the head done. I'm going to do the eyes and the mouth, but I'm going to leave the white as is. Oh, his nose needs doing. But yeah, I'm going to leave the white of the face white. There's no point in painting that. Right, okay, I don't want to paint a colour, another colour next to a wet paint, so I'm just going to leave the black and the orange to dry so that I can paint the red of the mouth, which you probably can't see there, and then the rest of the body, but I don't want to paint next to a wet colour, so we're going to leave that to dry. The black and the orange have dried now, so I can do the red in the mouth and the green and the yellow. I'm doing it green and yellow because, well, it was green and yellow to begin with originally, so might as well keep it original. Yep, so I'm just going to do the red in the mouth bit and the green and yellow. Right, I just need to get the red. Oh, in fact, it might be down here in my little bits of paint. Yes, here we go. A little bit of red. What I'm just going to stick it on the board. And you need a tiny bit, and I can just wipe it off. Use a nice brush, one of my nice ones, nice thin one. In fact, there might be a thinner one than that actually. Yep, that one is even thinner. Okay, so I've just done what it was originally like with the red in the mouth. There, okay. Just gonna clean my brush and clean my tray bit. Okay, clean my tray, and then I want a bit of green and a bit of yellow. So I'm just gonna put a blob on there. Oops. Okay, I'm going to do the yellow first. Yeah, no, I'm going to do the green first. No, I'm going to do the yellow first, which is the underneath. could have just left it as it was, but you know what, it'll just give it a nice fresh look. You could probably do with 2 coats, but this won't take any time at all to dry. Okay, first coat of yellow done, and then I'm going to do the green. Oh, I am going to leave the yellow there because I can go back to it. This is a nice colour green. Just show you. This was kindly gifted to me along with 10 tonne of other paints, for which I am very, very grateful for. Yeah, I'm very grateful for anything that anybody sends me. The paint I had was just this in here, that's all I had. But now I have a massive selection of paints to go at. Yeah, this will all need a second coat because I would just like the colour to be a little bit richer. Right, okay, that's coat number 1 done, and I suspect that will dry really quite quickly. So there you go. Just going to leave it a few minutes. In fact, you know what? I'll go make myself a fresh brew and come back to this, give it the second coat. And I think also I might lacquer it, but I won't lacquer it inside. I'll take it outside to lacquer it. But I will show you. I'll do a second coat and come back to you and show you this what it's like with the second coat on, and then I'll go and lacquer it. Okay, there you go. He's got 2 coats of paint on. He's good to go. So it's what we call him, mouse duck. Mouse duck. I think I'll just spray him with lacquer. I'll do that at the end. I can go outside and do that and then just bring it back. But yes, there you go. These were suggestions by all of us together, if you remember, on a live. We just put the ideas together and it evolved. We've got bunny ballerina. It just so happens when somebody said that looks like a ballerina skirt, I remembered I had this ballerina. And then I've just found that head, and I think somebody else might have said bunny ballerina. And there you go, she's even got a fluffy tail. But there you go, and we used that doorknob. And remember, I thought it was paint, but it was actually wax, and that stuff is lovely. It's a silver wax. And I've put some little metal buttons that I found on a skirt, the fabric that was sent to me by a subscriber, if you remember, and the mesh that I found. And I've actually just found another piece of this mesh. So, although I thought I'd used it all, well, I had used it all, I've just found another one. But yeah, there you go. Bunny ballerina. I do think that that has turned out fantastically. And then let's give you another little view of our, I don't know, mouse duck we're calling him. Mouse duck. I just wanted to show you that I'd glazed it. Okay, just looks a little bit better glazed, I think. And that was glazed with just a Halfords lacquer, their own brand, clear lacquer. It's massive, and I think it's about £8, something like that, for this lacquer, and it goes on brilliantly. It gives it a lovely shine. That's only 1 coat. You could give it a couple of coats, could give it a few coats, but I think that's enough. I think it's worked really, really well. So yeah, very, very pleased with these two. All everybody else's idea and a few of mine mixed in as well. But yeah, what else can we create with the stuff off the Frankenstein shelf. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when we put any videos up. And also don't forget, if you really enjoyed it, we have got the Ko-fi link down below which you can donate the price of a coffee to us, and we appreciate it very much. Thanks for watching. Bye.